Hey guys, time once again for another episode of Day in the Life of Vintage Classic Specialist. So today, let's start with the beautiful blue bug here. As you can see, the front bumper went on it today. And probably mentioned this before, but Wolfsburg West's bumpers are really nice. They're like $600 for the bumper. That includes, the uprights, the overriders, pretty much the complete bumper, but that doesn't include, the supports, the actual brackets, the grommets, etc. So yeah, but the bumpers themselves, like 600, 650. I think one of them 600, the other 650, give or take, front and back. But anyway, they're really nice. The metal is super thick. I'm pretty sure it's as thick as the original metal used on V-dubs bumpers, and they fit good, they look good, the chrome is really nice. So anyway, not trying to do a commercial here for Wolfsburg West, just trying to let you know that's what we use. We're very happy with them. We don't really bother re-chroming original bumpers for Beetles because they're really that nice. But anyway, yeah, so that went on today, and then Rafa spent a good bit of time doing a lot of little touch-up paint on the car. So we do, of course, have the paint for the car. And so one of our painters took it and mixed up the right portions with, hardener and stuff. And then Rafa took a very fine brush, and he was all over this car. I think, like, for example, these little metal tabs that hold in the soundboards here, the paint will kind of chip on those sometimes when you bend them down. Just little tiny stuff like that, kind of all over the car. I saw him crawling around underneath it, down in there and stuff, with his paintbrush and his little cup of paint. So yeah, this car, no matter where you look at it, looks amazing. And yeah, I think those are pretty much the main things he did on it today. He did also install a pair of kick panels, which are the little panels there that go under the seat, so one on each side there. And again, I can't get enough of this upholstery material. I don't remember what the actual name for this is, but this pinstripe material was primarily available in the European market for these cars. So it's a bit of a mystery how this car ended up with these, because it was bought here in the US. I think it must have been a special order. But anyway, you will probably not very likely see another 64 Beetle with this material. Our friends at West Coast Classic Interiors actually have a roll of this stuff that's new old stock material. And it ain't cheap, I'll tell you that, but it's just incredible looking. And for this particular car, this is correct. This is what it came with. So anyway, there you go. I did order the tires today. We're getting the correct size bias plies with a 1-inch white wall. Ordered those from our friends at Coker Tires. I think they might have shipped, so I might even have those later this week. I think I showed you guys the wheels before. They're all painted here and unmasked and so on. They look incredible. Can't wait to see those with the 1-inch white wall tires on them, bias ply tires. So yeah, those will be going on this thing. These rollers that we have on here are, I don't know what those are. Let's see. Those are 67 only, I think. Totally wrong for this car, but they're rollers, so they have served their purpose. So that's it for that. This morning I finished up the tank for the hot rod double cab. Took a long time. This is kind of a process here to put this in-tank pump in there, but it came out really nice. Looks great. So it's all installed now. The filter is down in there. Also went ahead and installed the fuel gauge, and then installed a ground wire from the fuel gauge to the ground on the pump, and then from there I'll go to the body or the chassis or whatever once this thing's installed. So yeah, tank is pretty much ready to install. I also capped off the bottom of the tank because the outlet and inlet are both going to be here on this pump. So the bottom stock one, not used. Anyway, so that's ready to go. I did also manage to acquire the rest of these dash pieces here. So you can see two of them. Actually, there's three pieces there. There's a middle wide piece, and then there's those sort of fanned out pieces. And then I've also got the piece that looks similar to that goes there, and then likewise similar to that goes there. So pretty much think I've got everything now. So I'm probably going to start assembling this dash pretty soon, and go ahead and mount the, where is it? The fuse box, which mounts up underneath the dash, and then it's going to allow me to pretty much do the wiring on this car, which I pretty much had to stop at that point because, again, the fuse box mounts up to the dash. So the only way to really route those and see, you know, links and stuff and make them look neat, you pretty much have to have the dash in at least temporarily with the fuse box, and then you can go ahead and route everything. So that is going to happen soon now that I've got all this busy work that goes under the dash here. So that's it for the Hot Rod Double Cab today. Although Brian Roth, who is going to assemble the motor for this today, actually started on it today. So hopefully we'll have a long block for this guy here in the not too distant future. So I need to go ahead and order all the tinware and everything else for it. But in the meantime, I started installing the transmission on this guy. And with so the axles are all correct now. So again, these are the lengthened axle tubes, which I bought these from Wolfgang International. I think Bus Boys or somebody else sells them. And then 68 only long axle, long spline. That's how you make the width of one of these correct, with short end castings, by the way. That's this piece here. So that combination is what makes transmission basically the right width for the spring plates on a bus when you do the reduction box conversion. So it's basically like a Beetle suspension at that point, no reduction boxes. So yeah, this is going in, and Rafa and I discussed, and we're actually going to lower it a little bit more than we had it. So I've been kind of playing around with the spring plate angles there. Wasn't really happy with where they were, so I'm adjusting those. I may even go a hair lower and then set the other side the same, and then put this together. So the other thing that happened today, thanks to Jacob and his help, is we bled the brakes on the Demon bus here. So this bus has brakes now, and they feel really good. So they didn't really fight us too much, which for this bus is saying something, because usually everything on this bus literally fights us. The only thing is we were bleeding them for a while, and then I realized I hadn't adjusted the front brakes yet. And bleeding brakes when the brakes aren't adjusted is kind of like shoveling shit against the tide, excuse the expression. But once I adjusted the front brakes, then they bled out the rest of the way pretty good. So we went around the car a couple times, you know, doing each wheel cylinder and so on and so forth. Brakes feel amazing on this bus now. I have no doubt they're going to work really well. So that was the other major thing that happened today. And then I think when he had a spare few minutes, that Jacob actually connected a few more wires on his stereo system here. So I think his stereo is done wiring on this car. So that's it for today, guys. Hope you enjoyed this, and we will see you again tomorrow. Bye.